This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, May 15th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. Some people call it the storm, that we're immersed in, all the activity and hectic and everything swirling around. And it's difficult for people to become centered because the storm is illusionary. Find the center of the cyclone of this life, and you'll discover deep, profound peace. I don't know if any of you have been in a storm system, hurricane or whatever, and the center of the storm is as peaceful and silent and serene as you could possibly imagine. And that's what it's like to be within, being centered. The mind often acts like a storm of energy and information, spewing out all sorts of thoughts and ideas about the world. It can make the world around us seem chaotic, exciting, boring, or way too much to handle. Our mind is like an overused machine that never gets a break and is always very, very busy, very busy. All day long, it's spinning around its thoughts, chattering 1,000 miles an hour about this and that. It's as if your mind is caught in its own cranks, wheels, and gears, spinning in the same patterns for years that it once created. If you're caught in the whirling mind, these turbulent thoughts can make your life appear as if it is off course. It can feel like you are being tossed in many different directions, as your mind can throw out random harsh thoughts at you like, hurry up. Why did you say that? You don't have time for this. Get a real life. Why did you mess that up? Get back to work. What am I having for dinner? The mind can be rude, mean, and make you feel inadequate. It can take you down these roads of thinking that can make you think there is no happiness inside. Living in the mind is utterly, truly, and completely exhausting. It's a good thing that there are many ways to get off. When each of these thoughts slamming into you, you may notice that you have the choice to react to them or just watch them sail on by. By reacting to all of the crazy mind chatter, you will be thrown back into the tornado of life. If or when you choose instead to sit back from your mind, become the observer, you will discover that you can create a comfortable distance from every thought that passes by. Finding this observer in you is where you become the master of the winds of your psyche. Set the intention right now to recognize the personal nature of your typical storm. You may notice what are the concerns, responsibilities, and fears created by your mind and how they are truly an illusion. There is really nothing that has to be done. You are connected with existence, and that is enough. You don't have to do anything to be someone special to continue to exist. Your mind may believe that something important needs to get done, or else you will die. Yet this is the type of fear-based thinking that creates those 300-mile-an-hour winds and a hurricane lifestyle. The truth is that you are complete, whole, and truly perfect exactly as you are now. in this very moment. You don't have to do a thing to be perfect. You were born divine. No matter what happens in the chaotic outer world, your divine inner nature will always remain untouched, undamaged, and complete. Believe this for 24 hours and see what happens. You no longer have to suffer in this storm. You can find the oasis of calm that lies at the middle of each moment, the now. The secret is to learn how to quiet the mind and reconnect with your divine nature. The easiest way to do this is to remain present to what is, the now. This can be mastered through learning meditation. The more you meditate, the more you realize that you are not your mind and that you are infinite and untouched by any winds blowing around you. Practicing meditation means simply sitting in silence, watching the crazy mind chatter as it comes and goes. It is like sitting and watching the distant clouds move across a peaceful blue sky, a background. Your true eternal essence is the blue sky, and your thoughts are the clouds. The more you observe these thoughts without buying into them or getting caught up in them, the more you detach and find this vast infinite stillness inside of you. Over time, you will be able to recognize the silliness of getting caught in the mind and become truly free from its grasp. It will be a glorious day when you remain centered no matter what crazy storm is brewing around you. If you've tried meditating and it just hasn't worked for you, then try a different way of meditating. Slow down whatever action you are doing and be more present to the experience. You can do a walking meditation, do an eating meditation, drinking meditation, non-alcoholic, of course, showering meditation, or even doing the dishes meditation. Don't give up on training your mind. Find peace inside. It will be worth everything in the end. If you have become so fixated on your thoughts that slowing down doesn't work, then it's time to use stronger disciplinary measures. So your enlightening assignment several times a day at random this week. Try this mind-stopping experiment. Take a deep breath into your body. It's okay to take a deep breath right now. And before you exhale, whisper the message, stop, in your mind. Release the breath, and then let your body become solid and completely still, like a stone statue. Let the breathing slow way down to where you may even stop breathing for a few moments and explore this stillness. Show the mind that you are the boss here, and let the frozen-like energy cease all physical activity inside. When the body finds stillness, the mind will soon follow. Just let everything come to a complete halt and bring your attention inside on who or what is looking. While it may take only 30 seconds or more to find the calm, present, eternal observer, these moments are worth the price of finding peace in the center of your cyclone. If the only prayer you said in your whole life was thank you, that would suffice, Meister Eckhart. We cannot talk about this enough. Gratitude is one of the most powerful and transformational energies on the planet. Every time You are spontaneously grateful for how the universe is deeply and eternally love you. You send out a high vibrational energy that starts magnetizing even more abundance into your life. Each time you bathe yourself in the energy of gratitude, you expand the knowingness inside you that you are truly an abundant being who lacks nothing at all. Gratitude is an incredible manifesting energy. It allows you to tap into your own infinite creative energy where you cannot feel fear, scarcity, or doubt. When you embrace gratitude as a way of being, you are living in this consciousness daily. You've surrendered to knowing that you are already deeply, eternally loved with everything you need and are thankful for all that is. From this place of being, at one with all that is now, you become a massive magnet for attracting even more success, love, abundance, and divine beings into your life. Take a few moments right now to imagine what your life would look like if you were constantly living from a place of gratitude all day long. You always have the choice to be grateful for what is or not grateful for what is. You have the power to choose what kinds of thoughts and feelings you focus on and eventually manifest into your life. You can choose to adopt an unending attitude of gratitude or remain strapped to the judgments, fear-based merry-go-round of the mind. Choosing gratitude is choosing freedom and will make your life easier than you ever imagined. It will bring you such a vast experience of love that you will freely feel and experience your own soul. Embracing gratitude as a way of living your daily life is like opening the door to a brilliant new world where the sun is always shining its warmth inside your heart wherever you are. You naturally feel the divine love and abundance that is inside you and all around you. A heart that is brimming with gratitude does not allow the mind to be cluttered with ideas, opinions, and attachment to desires. It knows itself as the source of love itself. If you have trouble staying in touch with your heart's natural, grateful connection, you may have to let your mind or an inner judge attempt to squash this flame of love. The fire is not dead by any means. It just needs a little stirring. The heart that is forever thankful always breaks free. And it breaks free from the ego's contracted thought patterns. Its natural warmth is always able to receive and give love freely. Gratitude is one of the most enlightening life experiences you can have. And you can access at any time. You always feel lighter and less burdened by the end of the day. When you practice directing this appreciation toward yourself, others, and the world, there is a natural de-armoring process that happens. Start each day with shedding that protective armor around your heart and opening your heart to this divine feeling of appreciating everything. Anytime that you are not feeling gratitude, simply refocus on what you like, love, or appreciate about a situation. It's that simple. Gratitude is always within your reach. It is just a question of your focus and reining in your mind. If you feel that your shields are too thick, Become quiet enough inside yourself to get in touch with the core of your heart. Create some time to relax and be very, very, very still. This will help you dig beneath the shields, resistance, and wounding from the past. Use the breath as a vehicle to take you deeper inside so that you can be beneath this false protection. All armor is created for the ego, by the ego, and within the ego. It is all necessary weight, since the soul is like sunlight and does not need defending. Once this armor is released, you will naturally feel a lighter, warmer feeling inside, and a deep state of gratitude will surface and pour through you in the world. Taking off one's ego armor can be tricky. Any moment that your mind gets derailed and goes down the dark path of frustration, victim story, fear, or complaining, stop it immediately. Switch one thing that I am grateful for right now. So what's one thing that I am grateful for right now? The good news is that there is always at least one thing that you can be grateful for, no matter what is happening in your life. Perhaps it's that you have the power to imagine a new you, your health, a good friend, or just that you are still breathing. Whenever you cannot see the silver lining around the dark clouds in your life, simply open your heart, breathe deeply, and then think about as many things as you can to be grateful for. In each moment, there are so many incredible things that you can be grateful for, large and small. Just open your heart, relax, look at the bigger picture, and soon you will realize how truly and deeply loved you already are. Living in a state of constant gratitude doesn't take work. It simply takes more awareness. Gratitude is our most natural way of being when we are present, when we connect with our natural essence and pure consciousness within. We can see and feel the divinity within everything. This is not something strange that needs to be learned, like judging cantaloupes. It's as easy as taking a fresh breath of air. So make it your number one priority this week to be aware of gratitude. Notice how much it is already a part of your life and what it will feel like to bathe in it 24 hours a day. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I am sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax these bodies that we're in, because we're not the body, we're not the personality, we're not the character. We're not the clothes. We're not our status in this life. And the breath is our magic. The breath is magical. It's very powerful. It's divine positive energy. The breath actually comes in directly from the gods that we are that enter these bodies. The power of the gods powers all things. So when you ask yourself, or the ego mind says, oh, you don't know how to meditate, what do you do? Focus on the breath. Easy and slowly in through the nose and easy and slowly out through the mouth. That's all you do is focus on the breath. Remember how many times the ego mind tries to take you off track? You just go right back and focus on the breath. As you get acclimated and you get accustomed to focusing on the breath, you'll be in the now. And quite frankly, the now is all any of us will ever have. None of us can absolutely guarantee that we will wake up tomorrow morning. None of us. None of us. No matter what your physical health, no matter how you are, you cannot guarantee that you will awaken tomorrow morning. So the now really is all that we have, and it's all we'll ever need. And see, what happens is, and we all are susceptible to this, none of us are exempt, but when you do focus on the now and your breath, you move into the now, of course, and things that really happen are that the mind chatter is gone. The mind chatter is gone. You know that mind chatter we have? It's noisy, 24/7. And we each put out over 60,000 thoughts a day, every day. It doesn't mean we know all those thoughts that we put out to the universe. And on top of it, we've got all of these programs, which are thoughts, running by us like clouds in the sky. Those aren't ours. But on occasion, we will embrace one, create it into reality, and experience it. So you begin to realize how imperative it is to stay in the now. Because all that isn't there anymore. You know something else? The ego mind doesn't exist in the now. And that's why it's constantly pulling at us and pulling us offline, pulling us and derailing us to be somewhere else, like the future or the past or the future. It always wants us to be either in the past or the future. Not the now, because it knows it won't exist in the now. You can see the tug of war there. But by going in the now, it's gone. Once this civilization, one by one, begins to realize that and implement it, it's going to be a whole different ballgame on this planet. And I don't mean negative. This is a good time to practice also while you're in the now. To be of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest, and the purest of the purest, eternal gratitude. And to be gentle, kind, generous, humble with yourself. Because we will get pulled off, right? And we will float off on one of those thoughts, or a few of them. We'll go right out of the now, and it's not like we even are aware of it. We find ourselves somewhere else. So it's really easy because we are aware. And we say, I'll focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. 3,000% of the time, which is every time. It's good to know that. Knowing it puts you halfway there. It is imperative, as things are so squirrely around us on this planet, in this life, to be only in the now. Now, a lot of people are very uncomfortable being in the now because they're so habitualized in being in the future or the past or the future. That's it. Okay? And then they get comfortable with that. And then it feels uncomfortable or discomforting to be in the now. And the ego mind wants us to believe that no, that's why you feel so uncomfortable being in the now. You've got to be in the future or the past. Then you'll be comfortable. And by being in the future and the past, we all suffer. We do. Disappointment, being let down, being hurried and frustrated, trying to force things, trying to accelerate things, push things, rather than being completely content for the very moment you're in. All the rest of the stuff, icing on the cake. And practicing gratitude is paramount. Does it feel difficult to practice gratitude? I don't believe so. It's just habit. It's habit to be in gratitude all the time, reminding yourself to be in gratitude. And the way you do that is to be in the now. I mean, you can have all kinds of things happening around you, really, truly. And you can choose, right, what to do. Do you go along with it, as the ego mind is pulling you to do? Or do you move into the now? Focus on the breath. Stay in deep eternal gratitude for everything, what you are grateful for in this very moment. Does it make any sense that so many of us spend our energy about all the stuff that's outside of us? All the stuff. The material physical world. And all that energy that we spend worrying, stressing, and fearing. When we can take that energy, do it about faith, and put it into deep gratitude in the now. And be deeply, eternally loving to yourself. Kind with yourself. Huge, huge. Does that seem difficult to any of us? I don't believe so. I think it's just, and I believe it's just that we don't practice it because we get so caught up. When you're lying in bed, you wake up in the morning, whatever time you wake up, what happens to most people? Boom. The sound machine kicks in. All of the mind chatter is right front and center. All the things that you should be doing, that you can be doing, that you can't be doing, and all the stuff. The rat race is there. Hurry, 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 hurry. Got to get this done. Got to get that done. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. Oh, I don't have enough time. Oh, I'm so tired. You see how it works? And it just builds. Before you even put one foot on the floor where the bed's at. Not only that, we're so into it that we pull it and we get ourselves going, and we carry that and build upon it throughout our day until we lay our head on the pillow that night. And it's always there because we do not choose to embrace the now. And is it ignoring anything? No. You're fully aware of what's happening. You just don't care to engage it. You see? If you're standing in the center of a massive storm, right? And we can all visualize that because we know what a massive storm is. You're standing in the center of the eye of it, and it's so quiet, still, peaceful. That's the center of your God, the God that you are. So you use these analogies, these visualizations, to depict what it's like to be the God that you are. And the best way to do that is to come up with an example, like a raging storm, and the eye of the storm is the opposite of the storm itself. And staying in gratitude and in the now opens up the universe, opens up all the things that you would desire, but all of a sudden, they're not important, are they? Being in gratitude is important. Stopping yourself in the middle of the day and just staring off and reminding yourself how deeply grateful you are for whatever it is you're deeply grateful for. These are very powerful practices. They're not insignificant. They're huge. And they're just waiting for us. It's not something you need to learn. We already know. We know what it's like to feel grateful, to be grateful. But it's coming. When you go into that habit, you actually condition yourself to always be in the now and always be in gratitude. Now, being in the now all the time is a real challenge because most of us can't even be in the now for 30 seconds before we're floating off. But it's the practice. It's the effort. And again, I remind everyone, knowing puts you halfway there. Now, when you worry, stress, and fear, as the ego mind drags you into, this is what we do. We worry, stress, and fear about the future and the past. We're constantly in the future trying to figure out what we're going to get and how we're going to get it and when we're going to get it and how much of whatever it is we want to get. And as soon as we do that, we form attachments and expectations, and then we suffer. As long as we do that, we will suffer. Just go through your life and check how many times you were let down or disappointed. That's suffering, because that comes with expectations and attachments. Maybe some of us as kids we wanted one thing, right? We wanted one gift that we didn't care about getting any other gifts. That was the one we wanted. And when we didn't get it, what would happen? We were let down. We were disappointed. We suffered. Now, those of us who said how deeply grateful they were for whatever they received didn't suffer. We have been trained so incessantly as a species and a civilization that we believe that all the answers are out there. We also believe that we have to run and chase and grab and grapple and grimace and stretch and grab and pull to have things come into our lives that we desire. See, in other words, we got to go after it, right? And instead of realizing that when I increase my vibrational frequency up to the universe's abundant, constant, abundant flow to me, then things come to you. They may come to you in the form of action. You have an opportunity to act upon something. Or they may come to you and just sit in your lap. Does it make any sense, okay, that we're immortal beings in these bodies, the gods that we are? We're immortal. We're infinity and beyond. Does it make any sense? And we actually have everything that we could ever imagine having and needing and wanting, and we have it all. Okay, so you're a divine perfection being, the God that you are in that body, right? Now the body, it's temporary. So that means you're not going to be in it forever. But to know that you're this divine positive being, omnipotently powerful, immortal, what does that tell you? Doesn't that mean that we should have a body that matches the God from this perspective of being immortal and eternal, so that you choose to be in that body for 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 years, and then determine if we want to leave and inhabit, experience another form, another physical form. See, we've been taught that everything is happenstance, everything is, happens to us, and that there's some kind of a force out there that does things to us, causes us pain and sorrow and frustration. And then we say to ourselves, as we've been trained, well, that's the way life is. That's our excuse. That's the way life is. when it actually is the opposite. Focusing on deep eternal gratitude 24/7, and that's easy to do. It's not that tough. The real challenge is just staying in the now. And whenever you find yourself getting anxious, getting in a hurry, or all of a sudden, don't look at your watch. Don't look at any direction of time, anywhere, right? Your smartphone, anything. Don't look. And watch what happens. Things will start to ease. You just say to yourself, I don't care to be in a hurry. How many of us do that, though? Oversleep, late for work, something happens, you got to get to something, you got to do something. You feel that anticipation, that anxiety, the stress, the hurriedness. As soon as we start hurrying, we start stressing. And where does that come from? It comes from the ego mind. The great grandfather of anxiety, fear, worry, stress. But we always have had the power to shift. Each of us has. So when you shift, here's an example of shifting, right? Number one, you're always practicing the heart-mind. Heart-mind controls the ego mind. It's the master. You master the ego mind. And you master the ego mind by knowing how it operates and what it does. And it's not a negative, but it's part of our learning process. So you choose to learn, and so you stay out. You still the ego mind through your breath, the subconscious mind. You still them because you don't engage them. You see all those thoughts they're throwing at you? They're zooming by. You just kind of watch them. You don't engage with them. You don't embrace them. You don't create them into reality and experience them. You just let them fly by. And then you focus on your gratitude. And, what am I grateful for in this very moment? It doesn't have to be some humongous thing. It could be a little tiny thing. But there's always gratitude. And see how many people on this planet, right, aren't in gratitude? They're not, are they? Where are they? Well, like most, they're in with the ego mind, the subconscious mind. And what does that take? Where does that take them? Future, past, past, future, future, past, past, future. And knowing is halfway there. Consciously aware. What the heck does that mean? Consciously aware means that we know through our heart minds that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude, eternal love, eternal peace. And that's being consciously aware. It's a big difference when you know who and what you are. When you know emphatically, without doubt, right, without question, you are the God in that body. It's a big step. It's a step towards eliminating your amnesia of not remembering who or what you are, why you're in that body, any of it. And it's funny because a lot of people on this planet will say, well, what am I supposed to be doing here? What's my purpose? And one of the biggest parts of your purpose is to enjoy life. Isn't that amazing? Don't fight the current. Let the current take you. Let the boat take the boat, right, on the shore of the river, and get in the boat, sit back in that easy lounge, wrap yourself in the blankets, get nice and cozy, and you have no oars. And you just let the boat take you downstream thinking. Are you worried and concerned and stressful and fearful of where the boat may take you? No. Because you know that all of the possibilities and opportunities are in the unknown. They're in the unknown. And it takes confidence, faith, and trust in yourself. Huge, huge, huge. Now, if you're doubting yourself and you're questioning yourself all the time, and you're worried about making the right or wrong decision, then that's going to be a bumpy downstream ride. Now you picture yourself being, and this is a really important visualization, and I emphasize it, that we're all standing in front of three paths in this life. We know that there is a past, right? Those are now moments that are now gone. We know there is a future, and we know there is a now. Now, when you're standing in front of these three paths and you notice that the trees have formed canopies over all the paths, and the trees are shimmering gold with the leaves shimmering gold, the bark and the branches, you notice that each path is laid down with a brilliant emerald green flaming light. And you notice that, out of curiosity, so the past path is worn it's just really worn. And the future, the one on the right, is really worn. Why is that? Well, how come they're all worn? And how come the one in the center, the now, is pristine? It's like it's brand new. It's a simple answer to that question. We're under the mastership of the ego mind. And it will keep us out of the now. Because it won't exist in the now, and it knows that. But nonetheless, you practice the now with the breath. Moment to moment. Space between heartbeats. And you can remind yourself during the course of the day. When you find yourself kind of wandering around, you focus on your breath, then you're in the now, and then you focus on deep eternal gratitude. So it doesn't allow the ego mind to see back in, because it boom, 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 boom. Being in a field that you create, because you're the power, you're the energy, and creating the field of thankfulness and gratitude and appreciation, just for being, see, not for this, not for that, not for this, but just for being, through your heart mind. You imagine what will happen when this civilization, the majority, is in that practice? Where someone will say to someone, what are you going to do tomorrow? And that the response will be, I have no idea, I'm in the now. I focus on the moment. I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow to give you that answer. Do you? See, this is a massive shift, a conscious shift for the civilization. And it's not squeaking by, it's flying by. And all this information is meant to help us focus and relax in the now through the breath and stay in gratitude. Now, we all know what happens when we follow the ego mind path, don't we? Suffering, pain, ignorance, worry, stress, anxiety, disappointment. Now, knowing that, right, empowers us to go within and to practice the opposite. Those of us in lower frequency, when we pull ourselves to lower frequency, we look up and we say, hey, wait a minute. I see this beautiful, vibrant light of abundance just constantly passing over me. How come it's not down here flowing through me? It's not going to meet you in lower frequency. You're angry, frustrated, disappointed, worried, stressful, fearful. That's all low frequency, so you've just literally lowered yourself into low vibrational frequency. So that stream of abundance is still there, but you're beneath it. So when you up your vibrational frequency, you go back up. That flow of abundance is there again, flowing through you, in you, around you, below you, above you. Non-stop infinity and beyond. So you look at how many people embrace what? Disappointment, anxiety, fear, stress, worry, dis-ease. Because they're not in the now. They are not practicing gratitude 24/7. And they're not at peace. And that's how it happens for all of us. That's why you feel, don't you? You feel this energy. You feel all the gods in all these bodies. You feel the archangels. You feel ascended masters. You feel your loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime, all lifetimes we've inhabited. You feel the off-worlders, the galactics, the celestials. You feel all the inhabitants of hollow earth, Agartha, beneath earth, and inner earth. You feel this constantly. And it's a little tricky to put your finger on it, because what you feel is you feel the God that you are through the other gods of all of that. People say, well, he or she is an ascended master. So are you. Well, no, there's Buddha, there's Maitreya, there's Lao Tzu. There's all of these special ones, right? Yeah? Nisargadatta, Maharishi, all of this. You're a part of all of it. And when we come in these bodies, even though we have amnesia, we're here to discover. And maybe rediscover, right? Because we have amnesia. And that's part of the fun of it. Imagine that, rediscovering that you're the God within the body and not the body. That you stay in immense gratitude 24/7. That you focus on your breath and you stay in the now. These are all practices that each of us can do or choose to do without anybody pushing us or forcing us or tricking us into it. We choose to do that practice. We choose to go into our breath, focus on our breath, easy in and slowly through the nose, easy in and slowly, easy out and slowly through the mouth. We focus on our breath. We choose to focus on our breath. And we choose to take ourselves in the now. Because you know why? Because we've all experienced what it's like firsthand to be out there, to be with the ego mind in the material physical world. We all know we know what it is. We've experienced it more than once. So we do the flip side and say, well, you mean to tell me when I learn, as I choose to learn, to practice being in the now through my breath, and to be in deep eternal gratitude all the time, that all of this changes? Yeah, my ego mind isn't tugging at me anymore. Nope. The mind chatter isn't there anymore. That's right. My pain and suffering is gone. That's right. My disappointment. What about my stress, fear, and anxiety? Those are not there. They're the ego mind. See the choice that each of us have in front of us? Now here's the question before we go into silence. Why aren't we choosing the now? What's compelling us to be gripped and entrenched in the future or the past? Why aren't the majority of the civilization stepping over into the now? It's an interesting question, isn't it? It's something to contemplate, meditate on. Could be that we are so habitualized, right? And that we've gotten this little comfort nest of the ego mind and living outside of ourselves, that it's like we are afraid of change. We don't care to change. We want to stay in that comfort of the ego mind, of tomorrow, of yesterday, and not of the now. And it comes right down to a choice. We always have a choice. We always have a choice. Making decisions for some is very scary because we're in the ego mind. Most of the decisions we make are in the ego mind. And what happens? What if it doesn't work? What if this doesn't happen? What if that goes wrong? What if I make this decision and it doesn't work right and it backfires? What am I going to do then? This is all the ego mind. It's like preliminary judging of an outcome that's not even happened. But yet the danger, we're such powerful beings in these bodies that we can manifest it in happening by doing exactly that. How many would you say on this planet know who and what they are? And we're not talking about physical. How many? Do you think there's a lot? There's not many. And then you think about, feel through the heart. All of us that gather in this meditation every day, 7 days a week, for over 4 years. Hundreds of millions of us, consciously aware to a certain extent, on and off world, focused on the liberation of this planet. Liberation from what? Liberation from the ego mind, maybe? Liberation from death and destruction? Liberation from lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies? Being consciously aware that we are in the now, and only the now is all we have. Because we're liberating the planet. It's happening right before our eyes. Might be a little scary to some. No? But what tempers that is staying in the now. What do you think is going to happen at the end of May? What do you think is going to happen in June? Is any of this stuff going to change? It's frustrating, fear, right? Worry, stress, anxiety. Again, ego mind. The only thing any of us know for a fact, absolute, without a doubt, without a shred of lacking faith or any of that, is that we have the now. And we can choose to be in the now, or we can choose to do what we've always done. Be mastered by the ego mind live outside of ourselves in the material physical world. Stay in the heart. You know where it is. You kind of step down into the heart, not up into the head. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy, slow breath in through the nose, and an easy, slow breath out through the mouth, and be still. This universe is abundant and overflowing with positive energy. Just stop whatever you're doing and notice this. The moment you pay attention to this abundance, you're resisting it from coming in. Take 7 minutes and meditate on all the abundance in the universe right now. Let your mind get out of the way and explore what it feels like to think expansively. Know that everything you can imagine, you can experience. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here Monday, May 16th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation